Good morning, lovelies. I hope you guys are doing well. And so I wanted to make a video today. Um, and so I'm about to go to work. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, let's rock. Let's do this. And I want to talk about adulthood. What it means to be an adult. I always say that an adult, there are three things you need to be a real adult. If you're missing even one of them, you're not really an adult. You're not a solid adult. And personally, I went through this. At the time, I did not know, and I'm still learning to put these thoughts and ideas into word or meaning, but I live by this. And so the first thing I believe an adult is age, legally 18 plus. I think we all could agree on that. Most country, most nation. And of course, depending on where you travel, they could be very debatable, but 18, and I agree with that. You had 17 years of being a child. At 18, you move on into adulthood, where you can start participating in this adult world. So 18. So you're 18 and older? Yeah, you're an adult. Okay? Take on your responsibilities, the good and the bad. Yeah? Number 2. Independence. The ability to care for yourself. Okay? As an adult, you need to be able to pay your own bills. Okay? Without someone help. You see, children, it's natural. It's nothing wrong. I mean, they're children. That's why you should have a parent to take care of you because you're a child. Okay? Because as a child, your job is your education. You should really be focused on your schoolwork, learning, That's not something that you really should worry about like that. But when you become an adult, you need to be able to pay your bills. And if you can't pay your bill, you're not really an adult, because you might suffer. And I find that most persons who can't pay their bills, you find that whoever is helping you sometimes, a lot of the time actually, become abusive and disrespectful. And to avoid that, to find yourself in a very dependent position where you can be a victim of abuse and disrespect, provide for yourself. Figure it out. The third thing I believe a so-called adult should have is a level of wisdom. Now that could be very debatable because we all have different ideologies, and somebody's thought might be very foolish to someone else. So that in itself could be debatable as far as thoughts and things and how do we go about doing things. But I do believe at the basic, there's a level of morale, there's a level of self-control that adults should have. That's wisdom. Emotional intelligence, that's wisdom. A child, like you take a kid to the store and they see some M&Ms, they see some candies, and they'll just, like a toddler, for example, they will see the candy and they might even open it and start eating it. And when you look down, you're like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, candy or chocolate. They see it, they take it. They don't understand etiquette. They don't understand decorum. They don't know. They just see the candy that they love and they're gonna eat it. Which is why, as adults, we're supposed to be training our kids and let them know, no, you don't just touch this thing. You ask first or you pay for it. You teaching them how things work. You teaching them rules and regulation. You're teaching them self-control. And so, how can you be an adult and again, nobody is perfect, but a lot of adults, it's like their character, they're just like children. They're still bullying people. They can't control themselves. Some of it is like, fighting and anger issues, like the way they communicate. They don't know how to express themselves. They don't know how to have a conversation. Like, they just act like children. Is like, you're not a child, you're an adult. You're grown. You're a grown man, you're a grown woman. Act like it. Like, you really can't see the difference between a toddler and them. You have grown people throwing a tantrum when they don't get their way. And it's like, are you really an adult? And so that's why I say, like, if you have one of these things missing, you're considered an adult, but you're not a functional adult. And as for me, I want to try to cultivate those three things. Well, one of them is by default. It's either you're old, you're 18 plus, or you're not. But the other two is two things that, you work on, you stay on, you stay consistent on. And that is your level of independence and wisdom. Trying to be a better person. And working on your finance, because the truth is, the world we live in, everything is money. You need money to survive on this planet Earth. Unfortunately, God created all this amazing thing, and it's like we have to pay for everything. Soon we'll be paying for air to breathe at this point. That it's ridiculous. But yes, a functional adult, a full, healthy, functional adult is, of course, they're of age, 18 plus. They are independent. And they are wise. They could self-regulate. Yes. So let me know in the comment section what you think, how you feel about it. But yes, have a good day.